A warm welcome from her Brainy tots. So yes, there's a piece of information which I would love to share with you all. Babies are born with brain full of neurons. We all know it, right? At birth, a baby's brain contains 100 billion neurons. It's something like stars in the Milky Way. And the neurons, as the neurons mature, more and more synapses are made. Unfortunately, the brain eliminates the synapses which are not used. The neurons which are not used or which are seldomly used, the brain eliminates it. And of course, the connections which are used more, they become permanent. So, yes, there are some new parents. Good morning, everyone. One second. Really, I'm not comfortable with this. So, yeah, thanks. So I am Seema Malu, founder of Brainy Tots, and it's been an immense pleasure. It's like an immense pleasure when I see all my parents involved so well with all my kiddos, and they're always on the toes to learn the science of parenting. So thank you so much. So now we are gonna invite Hemali Gada, who is an expert in brain development and counseling, which is very rare combination. And there's so much to tell about her, but I'll just brief you out in a second. So she is a mind map trainer, and she has made an enormous difference in lakhs of families worldwide. So today it's our turn. Hamari bari hai aaj. And yes, I'll just invite her. So, Nodi, will you please help me? Yeah. Okay. I think, yes.
Yes.
Good morning, Hemali
Good morning,
ji.
Seema ji. How are you?
So, yes, all good. Thank you so much. How are you
I'm
doing?
doing good.
We are super excited to, even in fact, our parents are super excited to have new learnings. So, yes, Himali ji, what we have done is we have taken all the questions which all were put by our parents.
Mhm.
So we'll, put it in front of you, and I'm sure we'll all have a great learning experience today. So, yes, Himali ji, can we start right now if you allow us to put questions?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, please.
So there are some beautiful, frequently raised questions put by Brainy Todd's parents. So there are few, does visual memory deplete after a span of years? The learnings are done at such early stage. So will they retain for life? So
Yeah. So, firstly, everyone, good morning. This is Hemali
good
Gada. I'm
morning.
founder of Hungry Brain, and obviously, Seema ma'am has introduced me. But a part of it, which I would add on, is I'm a mother of two. My children are 21 and 19. And years
Lovely.
back, I realized that parenting is just not about taking care of the children physically, but also a major role that we have is to lay a foundation for their life.
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely. Yeah.
foundation that on which they can build their life. They can choose whatever they want to, but
Yeah.
provided the foundation is strong enough. And one of the
Absolutely.
major thing that we do in the foundation is developing the visual stimulations. So anything and everything that we do in life is been stored in our memory. But our memory stores things in the forms of visuals. So if I say any name, just get present to the things that come in your mind. So if I'm saying ball, gift, tree. So Simaji, what did you get? Do you get the
Yeah.
words or the images?
In a fraction of second, I could get those images, gift wrapped in a nice jelly wala red paper and ball multicolored wala. The ones which we've seen, long back, maybe in our childhood days, that freckles. So yeah. Uh-huh.
Absolutely. So our brain, so when I was being a mind map trainer and I've understood how brain operates, one of the major things that I
Mm.
understood is that we remember, recollect things in form of images. Our
Absolutely.
education
Mm.
system fails. Why it fails or why we do not retain information for years after years. Like if you've studied, so we've completed sixth standard, but in seventh we may not recollect what was there fully in sixth. We've forgotten it. But when it comes to
Yeah.
the basic
Mhm.
things that we've learned in our preschools, almost things, information is there. So this all happens because the learning was there in the right brain in the form of memory. So when we have visual stimulation done, so there's two parts of visual stimulation. One is to develop the eyesight of the baby, which happens at a very young age. But the second part, when we say, is developing the memory, photographic memory. What we actually do is we develop the brain's ability where they could see images and recall them. They could also hear words and recall them as images. So that ability strengthens. And
At which age? I mean,
it starts from the day of the birth. Like baby would recognize mother by her
right.
face.
Exactly.
That's the
Yeah.
first image that first, not the first image, but one of the first image that baby would keep in the memory.
Yes.
So that's
So
where
this
it is.
frequently asked by my parents usually, कि ma'am कब से learning शुरू होता है? And we were like, from the moment the baby comes in the womb, the learning starts, So
Yeah.
yeah.
So when parents ask the question, सीमा जी, उनमें एक छुपा हुआ क्वेश्चन भी होता है, और वो ये कि ये लर्निंग जो स्कूल में कराई जाती है वो लर्निंग, और so when we say learning, the core meaning of learning is to acquire a skill or knowledge which we could use in our life. So बच्चा जो सिर, if the child has heard a voice from this side and turns the face this side, is also an outcome of some learning that has happened.
Yes, of course. All the five senses are engrossed in our learning. So yes.
Absolutely. So the academic learning could start by the age of 3, 4, 5 months when we say understanding things. But even raising the neck is also kind of learning. So that learning starts while the baby is in the womb. So just say that babies are born learning.
Yes. Maybe they are very curious and that's the reason they, keep spreading their arms and everything like so.
Yes.
So the next question was, will you allow me to put the next question?
Yes.
So yeah, are we not making rote learning? Just I always emphasize on this dot cards, flashcards, encyclopedia bits and all. So like there are some times, when my parents come, ki, ma'am, ye ekdam rote learning to nahi hai na? Will this really add value to my child? And I do believe it must be yes because आप कह रहे हो, but can I get some more points so that I can convince myself strongly? So,
It says the kind of immense trust that parents have over you, and which I've already seen the way you have the activities done. You take them to the music music school and other schools.
yeah.
Obviously, the trust would be
It's
awesome.
actually the trust and love which the parents shower. So, that's the reason I keep growing all the time. So, yeah, I look forward to new learnings also. So, yeah, thank you.
So, rote learning, let's understand what rote learning is. Rote learning is when you learn something, you memorize it word to word and give out or vomit word to word. Now, this is how it has happened. Let's come to the little of history of it. Okay, our brains takes all the information. So, when a child is supposed to say in 6th standard, that's what an example we are taking. The learnings that the child would get is from the teacher's lecture or reading the book. So all the information is taken with the left brain. Now, left brain takes information in words. No, memory is stored in the right brain in the form of images. So when the information is taken from the left brain and shared to the right brain says no images, sorry, can't keep it, no entries.
Lovely.
And the child will say, okay, I forgot. Let me remember it again. Let me learn it second time. Let me learn it third time. Let me learn it fourth time. If you could relate, in schools we were said to write 5 times, 10 times, 20 times.
Yeah, and I remember in our conventional schools, we used to mug up all the things, go to the examination hall, vomit all the learnings, and we used to come back. So probably, this was not taught in our, conventional
this is how
schools.
our brain operates, but our conventional methods is being working the same. All the researchers and science have done. We've got good laptops, we've got good phones, smartphones, but certain things are yet not touched by the science inventions. So in that process, the brain gets exhausted. The left brain, just telling a story wise for people to understand it well, left brain gets exhausted and says, oh no, what's the point? I learning all those things and not remembering it. and my right brain अपनी चलाता है, मुझे नहीं चल करना है उसके हिसाब से. So there's a small place in the left brain which is created, which you can understand as short-term memory. You know, short-term memory can just take in and give out, take in and give out. It may not be able to process it. So वो information लेगा, it will remember, vomit, and then after the requirement is done, it will just throw out for the new information to come in and to be stored.
Okay.
And what we are doing with the young babies is exactly opposite. We are making the long-term memory, the brain, the right brain, and the tuning of the left and right brain, which is very important. So that when it becomes strong, whatever information left brain takes, right brain will store it. And record it. So that
coordinate well.
Yes. So just having a right brain strong will not make a difference, but when you have the combination of left and right, their marriage, उनकी शादी प्रॉपर हो जाती है, उनका ट्यूनिंग मिल जाता है, तो रोड लर्निंग की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी.
I think उन दोनों के 36 गुण मिलाना ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है. या
Absolutely.
Okay. So we'll put on the next question over here. So it's raised by Tanvi ji. My daughter's name is Misha and she's 2 years, 2 months old. So when I make Misha do any activity or flashcards, she's extremely distracted. Could you please suggest me on how to increase her focus? So yeah.
Tanvi, you're not alone in the boat, I would say. The legs of
in fact, there were few more parents. Yes.
And it's been last 1.5 years that we were just getting this question कि हमने फ्लैश कार्ड्स तो शुरू कर दिए लेकिन हमारे बच्चे को देख नहीं रहा है, इंटरेस्ट नहीं हो रहा है. That's when our parent team was telling you have a speed and all those things were there. And that's when we could, one fine day we asked, can you share us a video? And the parent used to share a video and there was some other brand flashcards. Now I've got no objection with people making flashcards, but there are certain things which are important because flashcards is not a image on the paper. This is pure science. So there's two things which is important for when it comes to the flashcards. One is the pure science which is there. No, कि flashcards कैसे होने चाहिए? Flashcards are the cards which we show at a flashing speed and the brain can take them fast. So there's something which is strongly recommended for that process to have it happen in the same way. And the second thing which is important is the method. So we've seen that even when parents show the cards, say from front to back, they're flashing it fast. But due to the lack of eye contact, child will not love it. So there are many factors. The reason of we coming up with our course called Master Flashcards was the same, that we need to educate parents. It's not hungry brain. No, we are not the ones who want to sell our program और हमको ऐसे बनना है. हमें लोगों के अंदर, हमें पेरेंटिंग में क्रांति लानी है कि हर बच्चे के पास वो एबिलिटी है. हमें नर्सरी राइम्स मालूम है लेकिन 10th के पोएट्रीज नहीं मालूम.
Just one thing I would share, the name itself, it sounds like, hungry brains. So many times it happens and when there's a free play for kids, so mothers always keep on telling ki avocado dena chahiye, olive oil mein ye banana chahiye. I think we should soak these nuts, raisins zyada achhe. But I always wonder, Indian mommies hai, petu ka to bahut sochti hai, but brain is also an part of our system. So I always feel ki brain is always hungry, पेटू का तो at least 2 hours शांति आती है. Brain is always hungry and we should really keep some very nice inputs so that the kids when they grow up they actually shine and sparkle all the time. So yeah,
absolutely. Rather this is an area where I would say in India specifically. So we've got जब हम exports करते हैं हमें अलग-अलग देश के लोग मिलते हैं, अलग-अलग सोच समझते हैं. Even Indians ही जो मलेशिया गए हैं या जापान गए हैं, China गए हैं या दूसरे कंट्रीज में गए, we've seen the difference in the thinking because they've understood the things around. हमारे यहाँ 3 अलग-अलग सेगमेंट में पेरेंट की जर्नी जाती है. In the first journey is कि जैसे आपने कहा पेट का ध्यान रखो, बॉडी का ध्यान रखो, ये सब कुछ करो. The second journey is bringing all the frustration and irritation out, बच्चा सुनता नहीं है. Why are you doing this? I'm telling this for your good. सुनते नहीं हो and all those things. And then the third phase, पढ़ाई का टाइम है, अभी इतना मस्ती मजाक मत करो, नो एंजॉय करना है पूरी लाइफ पड़ी है, अभी पढ़ाई करो, अच्छे मार्क्स मिलेंगे, अच्छा काम, अच्छा जॉब मिलेगा.
Right.
I hope you can understand. This would be
So
the story of every
learning,
family, that this is how life goes
yes,
in
yes.
these
Many
three
a
parts.
parents. But
But
fortunately, now
the
the
way,
parents are getting aware.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. But the way human brain is designed is, you'll be amazed to see कि अगर हम पहले फेज पे, जहाँ आपने rightly कहा कि हम पेट के अलावा जब ब्रेन का ध्यान रखते हैं, then the second phase where the irritation and frustration is gone, is there, is totally gone. It vanishes out of life. Why?
Right.
Because there's a lot of neurological hunger that is fed, and the child is content. And the third phase, जहाँ आप पढ़ाई करो पढ़ाई करो पढ़ाई करो, that irritation also goes away for those smart parents who start early, because the child is curious to learn now.
Exactly, exactly. So how, like, when should we start this? I think we'll come up with this question. This was raised by one of the parents कि कब
सीमा
से
जी,
हम
I
शुरू
will
कर
just,
देना
sorry
चाहिए?
to interrupt
Yeah.
you, but
Yeah,
वो
yeah, please.
तन्वी वाला जो मिशा का क्वेश्चन है वो थोड़ा सा मेरा अधूरा रह गया है.
Yeah, please,
Yeah.
please come up. Yeah. So
So
how to increase her focus?
yeah, so Tanvi, I would recommend that if you could send a video, or if you could come in the live, and at times we have live. I do come live every
Like, okay.
twice a week. You can just share how you're showing the cards, because that will really matter. Many parents have started taking master flashcards, the course, and they could understand, okay, the whole method and understanding was wrong.
Right.
So concept flashcards बहुत beautiful है. वो बच्चों के ब्रेन में जैसे मैजिक कर लेता है. The life of flashcards in the entire lifespan would be less. Even the financial commitment would be less. लेकिन जो result है वो totally different है. So
that is a normal practice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can just come and share your ways of you showing the cards to the baby and things that. Yeah, Nehal has asked, even the size of the flashcards matter absolutely. When we are showing it to the baby, when the baby takes the card in the hand, then the image should be bigger than their palm, because that's the kind of eyesight that they have got. So yes, I think Tisha is Tanvi would thank you for taking this request. Yes, please, Seema ji.
So yes, there's one more parent, Khushbuji Tate, mother of Yuvika Tate. She wants to know which activities are important, what kind of toys and books are to be given for her age, and her daughter is 2 years, 1 month old. So, and also she lacks the interest in dot cards, and she had a query. She's already started with his flashcards, but is it okay to start with dot cards now? I mean, she's 2+, so.
Yeah, dot cards can be started anytime after 2 or 3 months.
Yes.
As you said, you already have it. You can start it right away, not an issue. And the first part you said is about the storybooks. So there's an entire process, to understand the process. हम जैसे स्कूल में कैसे सेट प्रोसेस है कि पहले केजी में डालो, फिर फर्स्ट, सेकेंड, थर्ड, एंड केजी में भी पहले जूनियर एंड देन सीनियर केजी. सो फ्लैश कार्ड्स, यस, सो फ्लैश कार्ड्स में भी ऐसे प्रोसेसेस हैं. अनफॉर्चुनेटली आज तक दुनिया में किसी ने नहीं किया है. हंग्री ब्रेन हैज कम अप विद दैट.
That's it. I recommend all my parents to get this Hungry Brains का, because I've seen कि proper है, बहुत ज़्यादा glossy भी नहीं है, and white background है, edges are also quite nice, and user friendly भी है. अगर बच्चों ने मुंह में डाला तो भी उनको नुकसान नहीं होता है. So there are a lot of things which that's the reason I recommend all my parents to get upon. अगर ले लिया है तो that is okay, I say, but नहीं लिया है तो switch on to this.
Yes, even for those parents जिन्होंने Hungry Brain नहीं लिया और कोई ब्रांड लिया है, we also have something for you. We've got a small course of 99 rupees where we share flashcards, the right approach. This is basically for those parents who have taken any other brand और वो बच्चों के ऊपर काम नहीं करता है. तो अभी उनको तो नहीं फेंकेंगे, लेकिन उसको हम कैसे मरम्मत करें, क्या चेंज करें जिससे that could be pushed out.
That would be great. We'll just post this link again in the group.
Yes. Sure. So for those,
So I think,
for Khushbu, your question, answering to your question about the books.
yes.
Khushbu, it is very
Books
important to
and toys
understand.
as well.
Pardon?
Books and toys, both. Like
Yes,
she's asked.
books and toys. So
Hmm.
let's go with first books. Books
Hmm.
are the ones you need to understand. In fact, Seema ji, you will be surprised.
Hmm.
Books में भी
Hmm.
काफी कैटेगरीज होती है. जैसे हम
Okay.
मूवी देखते हैं, we have action movie, we have thriller movie, we have suspense movie, we have
हाँ,
romance
right,
movie,
right.
we have art movies.
Yes,
ऐसे अलग अलग
yes.
मूवीज होते हैं. वैसे
Hmm.
बुक्स में भी बहुत कैटेगरीज की बुक्स होती हैं.
हाँ.
So they're wordless book, they're picture books, they're books with a story, the books with which are the starter books for the child to start speaking up and all those things.
Hmm.
हम लाइफ स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम में तो सारी अलग अलग वेराइटीज क्रिएट करते हैं, बट पेरेंट्स आर जनरली नॉट अवेयर कि बुक्स में भी वेराइटीज होती है.
होती है
तो
डेफिनेटली. एंड आई सर्टेनली बुक्स एंड रीडिंग ऐसा मैजिक होता है कि हम बच्चों को जैसा चाहे बना सकते हैं, जैसी उनकी सोच है. नो, इट्स लाइक एन ओपन एंडेड. आई एक्चुअली always emphasize on picture reading, object reading, rather than those reading texts and all at an initial stage. So yes, you'll be a better person. So please carry on.
I will add on to what you said. It is
Mhm.
not possible for us to explore the entire world by ourselves
Yes,
and not
absolutely.
also have all the learnings with trial and error. The
Hmm.
only shortcut that we have in our life is learn from others, and that would be not Google, but good authors,
Hmm.
because
Actually.
they write things in a book that we could actually understand and implement it in our life. But those
Hmm.
books, our child, now when as a parent, when we are looking on to it, बच्चे तभी रीड करेंगे when they have that inclination already built up,
Yes.
and that's our
When they
role
get
as
that
parents.
exposure.
Yes,
Yes, absolutely.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. So generally, when we see about books, I would recommend you start with something called word cards, where the child is able to see the words and remember it, read it. When you introduce that, and then you start with books, and then you start with reading, that's a time child would say, hey, I could read this word, I could understand this, makes sense.
Okay, maybe I'm getting it wrong. So first you're asking us to read those words. Okay, and then towards books. So
Absolutely.
words में बहुत time लगेगा, तो तब तक हम books ही introduce नहीं करें. Isn't that
वर्ड्स
unfair?
में
Like,
बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं लगेगा. ये जो बुक मैंने आपको कहा,
हाँ.
दिखाया अभी, this is the
हम्म.
book. Like if you could see the kind of content it has.
Yes.
This is a part of a
हाँ.
program which children could read at the age of 15 months.
15 months.
Yes.
Okay.
And there are many kids who are reading.
Words we are going. Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So we need to start with first flashcards. Why? Because we're developing the whole process where the child has the ability to see, understand, remember, and recall when required. Then we start
Right.
with word cards, where the child would see the words and recall when required, the whole process. And then you start with books. I'm not saying that every book has to be first shown in the word cards, but the majority of words that would be covered in the certain words who already always repeating, like the, is, and, if, but, also, and so on. And mama, papa, he's, her, all those things. When a child is able to read at least 20 to 80% of the words, the
Yeah, he feels
inclination towards,
connected. Yeah.
yes.
Yes, yes.
And then for the life you're sorted. You will never have to tell your child, come on, take this book and read. It would
Yes.
be 10th standard, you would be academics, anything, you're totally sorted. वो पहली
Yesterday,
homework कर लो.
I'm sorry, I'll just interrupt you, but I feel like sharing this. So yesterday, batch 3 सुबह का batch था, and there was one parent, and she was like, मैम ये टीवी जब ऑन रहता है वो उधर बार बार उनका ध्यान जाता है, like in-laws देखते हैं तो. So I was like, see, initially we are supposed to build an interest and love towards books हो गया, dot cards हो गया, flash cards हो गया. So पहला प्यार उनसे हो जाए ना तो बहुत अच्छा है. एंड दूसरा तीसरा प्यार हुआ तो चलेगा, बट लाइफ में कोई अपना पहला प्यार नहीं भूलता है. सो दिस वाज आवर शेयरिंग यस्टरडे.
Awesome example. ये पहला प्यार का नशा ही कुछ अलग है.
यस, दैट्स द रीजन कि पहले ही आप बच्चों को बुक से, डॉट कार्ड्स, फ्लैश कार्ड से प्यार करवा दो. सो या
एक्चुअली वो प्यार डॉट कार्ड और फ्लैश कार्ड से नहीं होगा. हम जो कह रहे हैं, जो पहला प्यार है ना, वो पहला प्यार होगा लर्निंग से.
यस, learning in a right this
Yes.
thing.
राइट
Absolutely.
मेथड से बच्चे को आया तो बच्चे ने ग्रास्प किया, राइट मेथड से नहीं आया तो बच्चे ने रिजेक्ट किया.
Yes,
तो वो जो
I
लर्निंग है और
totally agree.
लर्निंग के साथ जो प्यार हुआ.
Yes.
अभी आपके एग्जाम्पल को मैं और आगे लेती हूँ. एक तरफ बच्चे ने बुक ली है, he could read, he could take the newspaper and attempt to read. वहां उसे ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट लगेगा कि वो जो टीवी चल रहा है और वहां मुझे सिर्फ बैठ के ऑडियंस बन के देखना है. आपने सही कहा, वो पहला प्यार जो लर्निंग के साथ हो जाएगा तो चाहे जितना भी अट्रैक्टिव टीवी हो क्यों ना हो, वो थोड़ी देर से ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट ले ही नहीं पाएगा.
Yes, yes, I agree. Pakka.
Yeah, so that's how you select the books. There are various varieties of the books. Khushbu, that I would say. And toys अभी ये जो नए ब्रांड्स निकले हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें निकली, एक थॉट आता है कि हमें बच्चे को ऑक्यूपाई करना है, उनका टाइम स्पेंड करना है. बट ये बहुत बड़ा मिथ है. वी डोंट नीड टू ऑक्यूपाई आवर चिल्ड्रन, वी नीड टू मेक देम स्टार्ट थिंकिंग. बहुत डिफरेंस है.
So that's the reason they say बोर होना बहुत अच्छी बात है. You know, that is a च्यवनप्राश for brain. बोर होते हैं तब नया चीजें एक्सप्लोर करते हैं.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the same time, no, this is a parenting area. लेकिन आपने जो कहा ना, बोर होना जरूरी है और वो च्यवनप्राश है, लेकिन पेरेंट्स मेक देम हैंडीकैप ड्यू टू द लैक ऑफ इग्नोरेंस. बच्चे को ये एक्टिविटी दो, ये एक्टिविटी दो, ये एक्टिविटी दो, इतनी सारी वैरायटी मिल जाएगी, तो वो जो जूस मिलना है, जो ब्रेन को डोपामिन मिलना है, that's now lost. Yes. And then it will be for life. आपको नई चीजें देनी पड़ेगी.
Yes. Unknowingly the parents do sometimes, you know, they always wish कि मैं best दूं, and कभी-कभी, you know, कुछ बुरी चीजों का.
Yes. I just show one thing.
Yeah. Please do that.
So now this is a simple toy. अब जो देख सकते हैं. Now जो खुशबू ने कहा किस तरह के टॉयज यूज करने चाहिए, टॉयज वैसे यूज करने चाहिए, वैसे नहीं यूज करने चाहिए which makes your child get occupied, but use the toys which makes your child think, and just not think for one time, think it differently. So now this is a piece, so this is a part of our life skill development program, and we send different games to the parents. अभी ये जो एक टॉय है, इसको अगर हमने ऐसे रखा, ये रोटेट होगा, लेकिन इसको उल्टा कर दिया तो ये रोटेट नहीं होगा. Yes. Now just with this experience that the child sees, child knows, इसको रोटेट करना है तो इसको ऐसे करो, अभी रोटेट होगा, ऐसे नहीं होने वाला. Yes. तो सीमा जी, you'll be surprised. बच्चे जब ऐसे करना, सिर्फ इसको पलटी करना सीख लेते हैं ना, I mean, वो जो कॉन्सेप्ट दिमाग में आता है, वो बच्चे कहाँ तक पहुंचते हैं.
Yes. Sort of, I think little scientists are involved in, you know.
Yes.
एक वो जन्म होता है little scientist.
फ्लैट पड़ा हुआ है टेबल पे, अभी मुझे इसको घुमाना है, मैं कैसे घुमाऊं? And then they'll find a way out. इसको ऐसे करके घुमाओ. मुझे ये पेन को घुमाना है, मैं कैसे घुमाऊं? Yes.
So that's the reason every day we give 5 minutes free play, so that, you know, the kids come and explore, और सोचते हैं कुछ, you know, check करते हैं, they try to explore कि क्या है. So 5 minutes we keep that free play toys, and then we wind up and we start the class.
Awesome. They require their own creativity. Otherwise, they'll be just followers of mama. We will have good followers, but not good leaders in life.
Actually. Okay. So I think, yes, we've sorted about this toys and books. Khushbu ji, I'm sure you must be. Okay. So we'll come up to the next question. Sakshi ji, she's a parent of Ruhi. And nowadays, majority of kids are facing concentration issues. This is hampering the growth of a child. What could be the reason for lack of concentration, and how it can be improved? What, as a parent, can we do to build self-confidence in our children? So she is a, like, you know, on-the-toe parent. I know her personally. So, yeah.
Okay.
She really wants to put more inputs, and she needs more guidance, you know.
Sure.
So, yeah.
It's actually good observation, I would say. And the way you are seeing things, you're one of those, I can say, proactive parents who are just not thinking of today, but for the future. This is, I would say, this is a set assurance that your child will be at a different level than average children. Why so? Because it is the parent. Children will show up later on, but as a parents, our efforts on the child on building their foundation ensures that their future is awesome. So,
Beyond.
Sakshi, really good question. Yeah. I want to focus or discriminate two things which are totally different. One which is concentration, and one which is attention span. Generally, this is something that parents collapse and would not get it well. Now, what is concentration? Concentration is like there are 30 things in front of me. In a fraction of a second, I saw all 30 and recollect them, capture them. If the concentration is weak, I will take around 10 seconds to actually observe each and everything and take in the information. So that's the ability to concentrate. Which you can never judge, because for kids, the fraction of second is enough for the highest level of concentration. But the second thing comes is the attention span. Attention span is if there's something very important going on, how long can you focus on it? What's the kind of patience that the child has to focus on the work? I think this would be actually a different perspective from concentration. So, Sakshi, I wanted to actually understand, is concentration a problem or attention span is a problem? Because then the journey goes differently for both the things. If the concentration is weak, we need to focus on improving the concentration, and flashcards are the best tool on the world to develop the concentration, where you show things at a fast speed and the child would grasp them. When it goes to attention span and increasing the attention span, you need to increase the involvement level of the child. So where the child would have good engagement experience, then it would increase the attention span. And the
like
third,
an activity, you mean?
Yes, so any activities where the child is also a doer and things go ahead in that way, that will really make a difference there.
Right. Okay.
The third thing that, the second thing that she shared was self-confidence. Confidence को market में नहीं मिलता, वो हमें अंदर से लाना है, और बच्चे के लिए भी अंदर से लाना है. And with Hungry Brain parents, I would say confidence की तो बारिश ही बारिश है. कैसे? Now, we were just talking about the reading books, right? So now, if the child who's like reading a book, I could smell flowers from the tree, and the other children or other adults. So just imagine a 2-year-old actually reading a book in front of 10 people, family members. तो लोगों का appreciation रहेगा, right? People will appreciate what kind of ability this child has. Awesome. And that's a direct connection with confidence, that I am capable enough to talk and speak in front of people.
I'm sorry to say, but do you really feel people need to appreciate and only then will become more confident? I mean, I think it's just happy atmosphere if it is given. So the children automatically raise as a confident person, you know. हंसते गुनगुनाते मस्ती करते हुए लोग हो आसपास, और काम करते समय भी गुनगुनाते.
जो हंसते गुनगुनाते लोग हैं वो कॉन्फिडेंस को तोड़ते नहीं है, वो जोड़ते हैं हमेशा.
हाँ. So do the children really look for some appreciation to be more confident? I mean,
appreciation not like wow, but appreciation in terms of acceptance. So confidence के पहले आता है self esteem.
Yes, definitely.
Self esteem strong है तो confidence strong है.
Automatically.
Yes. Now a family which has got a good environment, obviously the self esteem is high.
I think that is a root thing, you know. Acha environment ho, I think it flourishes, like so. Yeah.
But confidence comes only with understanding, self-understanding. When the self-esteem is that at that level, that yes, I can do this. That's where confidence stands up. Yes, so self-esteem is I want to do this. Lack of self-esteem is अरे मुझे करना है लेकिन इतने लोग हैं मैं नहीं करूँ. A good self-esteem person will say, yeah, I want to do this. And a good confident person will say, I am doing this. Let me do this.
Yes, yes, yes. Right.
ये पेरेंटिंग के बहुत माइन्यूट
Minute
ऑब्जर्वेशंस
details.
है.
Yes. And it's such a wonderful thing, It's like every day you keep learning, you keep exploring, and और अच्छे relations हो जाते हैं बच्चों के साथ, and हमें भी बहुत मजा आता है, being a mother, being a parent. So
Obviously. Yeah, that's
listening. I think Sakshi ji का ये हो गया है. We'll proceed further, shall we? Okay.
yes.
It's mother of Pavika Patel. Hi, my daughter is 15 months old. She has recently started getting very cranky if things do not go her way. Also, her attention span has reduced. She used to focus seriously, but now she's easily distracted. Is this lack of focus just a phase? So, and initially, she used to look very nicely at the dot cards and flashcards. Dot cards now. She has introduced the flashcards, I guess, Pavika's mom. So, initially, she used to focus, but in recent few days, she started थोड़ा सा उसका फोकस इधर उधर हो रहा है, एंड वो थोड़ा इधर उधर देखती है. सो आई ऑलवेज कीप, इधर उधर देखा तो भी कुछ नहीं, इधर से उधर देखते समय भी कुछ देख लेंगे बच्चे. सो ना कैरी ऑन डूइंग दिस.
क्योंकि जब मैं आपको देख रही हूँ तो मुझे आपकी ब्राउन चेयर तो ऑटोमेटिकली दिख रही है. जब आप मुझे देख रहे, लोग मुझे देख रहे, उनको वो वेक्टर वाली टैक्सी और वो फ्लेमिंगो
दिख रही है. फ्लेमिंगो. यस यस यस, एब्सोल्युटली.
तो वो तो होना चाहिए. यहाँ वहाँ देखो डजंट मैटर. लर्निंग तो लर्निंग होनी है. But there's certain phases. Now this is the part of parenting. As you rightly shared in the start, the combination that I have with psychology and brain science, and when you mix this two, the beauty has come out in a different way. अभी ये बात है concentration, focus, attention जो brain science है, and there's a part of psychology where the connection is weak. Now this is the phase when the child starts walking around, moving around, exploring around. बच्चा बन के बच्चे की दुनिया देखो. 6 महीने तक तो मैं कितना हेल्पलेस था. मुझे मम्मी ने यहाँ से वहां लेके गए तो मैं दुनिया देख पाया, नहीं तो मैं वही एक रूम में, मैं बेचारा दूसरों की दया का मारा. And suddenly when I could crawl, it's like wow. But there's so much limitations. My hands and legs, I don't know, I can just move a little, and then also the height is, I'm so short while I'm crawling. And suddenly when this child gets their legs, I mean, they get their legs in the sense they can start walking. They're on the cloud 9. I can actually do what all I want.
सुन के ही अच्छा लग रहा है कि उनको कितना अच्छा लगता होगा, exploring the world all around and moving. So, I mean, it must be like immensely joyful होते होंगे बच्चे.
Absolutely. अगर उनकी दुनिया से हम देखें तो मम्मी आप मुझे ये दिखा चुके हो, लेकिन वो जो टेबल के ऊपर खिलौना है, मैंने महीनों से उसे देखा है, आपने मुझे कभी दिया नहीं हाथ में, आज मुझे उससे हाथ में लेना है. So when the children start walking and moving around, parents, that's the phase where we need to give them time. And that's rather the phase when we have to be more observant, where they're observing things and how they're going ahead. Okay. It is extremely important for us to understand कि ये 1 साल की जर्नी में what all they have collected and they're coming out with.
Okay.
So that's a phase where we have a parent support team, और हमारे parent support team को एक ही चीज के लिए train किया. Parent को बोलो observant बनो, observant बनो, observant बनो, pull down. And once the child is going to explore the world around, he'll again come back to the learnings. This is like कि हमारे घर में एक शादी है, like आपके छोटे भाई की शादी है, तो मेहमान भी आएंगे, सब कुछ होगा, तभी हमारी रूटीन की चीजें साइड में रहने वाली ही हैं.
रहने वाली.
लेकिन वो शादी पूरी साल जिंदगी नहीं रहने वाली. उसके दिन खत्म हो जाएंगे, मेहमान चले जाएंगे, फिर तो वही रूटीन रहने वाला है.
So if there is a lack of focus, she should continue the same, right?
Yes, but
continue
to increase the creativity and excitement.
Okay. हाँ, तो सामने वाले के अगर थोड़ा लो है तो हमको ज्यादा efforts और ज्यादा excitement दिखा के करवाना होगा, so that to create that interest.
Yes, yes. Also, there's a direct connect. Now, this is a psychology or parenting part. जब बच्चा चलना शुरू करता है और when the child would start crawling, there are times that parents would say, don't touch, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this.
Yeah.
अभी बच्चे की दुनिया देखो, चाइल्ड वुड से अरे यार इतनी सारी चीजें में मुझे हम ये कर रहे, मना कर रहे, वैसे भी मैं पूरी लाइफ पूरी दुनिया एक्सप्लोर नहीं कर रहा हूँ, जो करने जा रहा हूँ वहां भी ये मम्मी है कि क्या मैं क्या बोलूं, एंड मम्मी स्टार्टेड शोइंग कार्ड्स. नाउ द चाइल्ड विल से अभी आई मेरी बारी, यू नो आपने मुझे बहुत ना किया, बहुत मना किया है, अभी मैं रिबेल करूंगा. मैं नहीं देखने वाला, आप खाना खिलाओ, मैं नहीं खाने वाला.
So that's the reason. जितना ना बोलेंगे बच्चे भी वही सीखेंगे, you know.
Absolutely. So a lot of things need to alter at the parenting level at home. The kind of environment that we are giving, it is just not cards, but the same scenario you would see in the eating habits also.
Okay.
So the rebel and the persistent that the child do not want to do it is an outcome of those things that the child has got.
Okay, right. Right. Okay. So next question is raised by parent of Kian Ostwal. Hello, ma'am. My question is, how can I make my baby confident? I think we've already done this.
Yes.
So, whatever he learns at Brainy Tots, he performs at home, but he barely reflects at class. So, is that okay?
Perfectly fine. Your child is an observant child.
Right.
So there are children who are like doers. They would want to do everything right now, right now, right now. आप सिखा रहे हो, आप सिखाओ, बाद में चलेगा, मुझे करने दो.
But अभी करना है. And but I think observers are great, you know. They observe, they absorb the thing, and then they come back with the thing. And वो longer period तक उनको याद भी रहता है चीजें. हाँ, starting थोड़ा सा late होता है, but I think that is absolutely okay. They are learning, you know. They are not demonstrating, but they are learning.
I would say, Seema ji, you'll be amazed to listen on just out of curiosity, wanting to share these examples. Yesterday we had a live and we had a father called Anupam who had come and he shared कि बच्चे की observation इतनी sharp थी कि at the age of 12-14 months baby Ira was wanting to eat by herself, and when they gave her वो डोसा खा रहे तो उन्होंने दिया, baby Ira actually ate the way she saw it. मम्मी कैसे खाना खा रही है वैसे ही उसका निवाला गया.
I would always say observer बच्चों के साथ में parents को भी on the toes रहना पड़ता है. They have to be very alert, you know. So yes.
For Kian's mother, I would tell you the real things that are there. Observant children, you're blessed to have an observant child. We have Neha, whose son has got Kalam Book of Record. What book? In a book of records for having 100 paintings done at the age of 1 year 11 months.
1 year 11 months.
Yes. 100 paintings with painting brush, and the real good paintings.
Okay.
And she said that Hemali ji, ये credit आपको जाता है. मैंने कहा painting में, Hungry Brain painting में कुछ नहीं खत्म, प्लीज आप ऐसे मुझे चने के झाड़ पे मत चढ़ाओ. And she said कि नहीं, मैं आपको चने के झाड़ में नहीं चढ़ा रही हूँ, ना मैं कुछ भी 0% बूस्ट कर रही हूँ. His observation became so powerful. There was the foundation was by me. हमारे फैमिली में किसी की भी बर्थडेज है, एनिवर्सरीज होती है, I used to paint and give. I am an artist by passion. My profile is different, but then मैंने ये passion मेरा बना के रखा. And he used to observe the way I used to hold the pen, brush, and move around. And one day he just got the brush and he held it exactly the way I holded it, and started having the strokes the way I did, and then I gave him the canvas and he drew beautifully, he painted beautifully.
Lovely to know that. Yeah.
So Kian, as Seema ji ने कहा, अगर आपका बच्चा good observer है, you be on toes. You've got now the opportunity, the world's best opportunity. आपको जो बच्चे को सिखाना है आप वही करो. You're sorted.
Yes. And that seems to be simple, but it isn't. I'm telling you.
It is simple. It is pretty simple. A little bit of planning for parenting, but it's simple.
Yes. So the time is actually questions हमारे इतने हैं और आपका जो ज्ञान है वो इतना ज़्यादा है. It is like enormous. We'll still take 2 or 3 questions, and then probably we need to wrap up the session. So I'll just take 2 more questions. Here, there's a parent of Vanshika. Hello, ma'am. I've heard a lot about this left and right brain functioning. In our days, we just knew about this chota magaj. Do we need to make extra efforts to rewire them? So, yeah.
Uh, this is mother of Vanshika or this is Vanshika?
This is parent of Vanshika. Yeah, mother.
Yeah. So,
Mother of Vanshika.
mother of
She
Malu.
always used to say, "Ma'am, ये क्या होता है left?" I mean, we used to do this ISP activities in our for our kids, so brain stimulation के activities like where we hang the children, we take them from the left shoulders and all. So like हम बता रहे थे कि जब left side से पकड़ते तो right brain stimulation होता है और ये सब. मैम ये left brain right brain क्या क्या होता है मैम? She's like, you know. So yeah, please could you please brief it out for her?
Yeah, sure. So Vanshika's mom, बिल्कुल जरूरी नहीं है सब कुछ करना और रिवायर करना, बिल्कुल जरूरी नहीं. लेकिन मेरा एक प्रश्न है आपको, क्या हमारी लाइफ तभी जब हम ट्रंक कॉल किया करते थे, लाइक व्हेन आई रिमेम्बर इन माय चाइल्डहुड व्हेन वी हैव टू गो कॉल समवेयर आउट स्टेशन, वी यूज्ड टू हैव दैट ट्रंक कॉल्स. एक नंबर दे दो एंड दे विल, द टेलीफोन ऑपरेटर विल wire it and then give us a call after an hour or so कि आप अभी उनसे बात करो. And today we have the video call, WhatsApp and so many apps readily available. ऐसे चुटकियों में. Now this journey is just because of the advancement of science. हमारी लाइफ में हमारी लाइफ तभी भी सिंपल थी, तभी भी अच्छी थी ट्रंक कॉल्स के जमाने में, तभी भी अच्छी थी जब टीवी नहीं थे, रेडियो थे, तभी भी अच्छी थी जब 100 घर के बीच में एक टीवी था और लोग ऐसे घेरों करके वो घर में जाते थे, और अभी भी अच्छी है जब हर इंसान के पास एक छोटा छोटा टीवी है, मोबाइल. सबके दायरे अलग अलग हैं, प्लस माइनस देखेंगे, बट आई वुड सी इट इन दिस वे, द काइंड ऑफ एडवांसमेंट वी कुड डू विद साइंस, if we're using the science in a better way, obviously things are awesome.
In fact, that's
right,
the reason we people are speaking right now. See, and all the parents are gaining knowledge.
Absolutely,
so.
absolutely. So that's the boon of science.
Yes.
In the same way, when we see, when you actually understand what the left brain is, what the right brain is, and उनकी शादी कैसी होती है, उन दोनों को ट्यूनिंग कैसे करना है, what you're actually doing is you're making your child free from all the pressure of learning for future. No, understand. Okay. Just think of what I'm saying. जब बच्चा 1-1.5 साल का है, वो बच्चा जो चलना सीख रहा है, if you want to stop that child, would your child ever get stopped by you?
No. It's like
he'll fall down, he'll get hurt. Would he stop even by that?
He would bounce.
That's the kind of, obviously, that's the kind of learning hunger that these young babies have. It's awesome. Now, just fast forward. Take it at the 6th, 7th, 8th standard. वहाँ बच्चे को कुछ नया सिखा दो, नया chapter. It's like, oh no, I prefer to copy rather than study. The child knows to read, child knows to understand everything, but now the learning hunger is gone. No, where the child wants to actually implement this. But when you as a parent are aware of left brain, right brain and their marriage or their tuning, the proper way the tuning, what you're actually doing is you're having that foundation for your child, that your child's brain is completely in line with the kind of learning that you provide or the world would provide. So the choice is yours, Vanshika's mom.
Right. Absolutely, yes. So, yes.
There's some question from Moni also, but then we'll have your questions and your parents' questions resolved first.
Yes. So there's one more last question which is often kept by our parents. So please allow me to do that. So parents का कहना है कि like now my child is 2 year plus. Okay. So is it okay to introduce flashcards now? And how long can, like उनके siblings है जो कुछ 7 years plus भी है. So like is it okay if I introduce to her? So I was like, it's a bit skeptical कि 7 years के बच्चे को हम introduce करें या नहीं करें. So I was like, you are the better person to guide this.
No side effects.
Of course, not side effects, but जहाँ हम inputs दे रहे हैं, like you know, हमारी मेहनत, it should be worth spending that time. So
when you say worth spending that time as compared to मेहनत, तो जो 3 महीने के बच्चे के ऊपर हम मेहनत करते हैं और 3 साल के ऊपर करते हैं, उसमें भी फर्क है. 3 months get
Yes,
less learning.
definitely. The earlier you start, yes,
Yes.
I totally agree. I've seen my parents, जिन्होंने I guess 9 months, 10 months में भी कुछ बच्चों ने ज्वाइन किया था. 12.5, 13 months में they could see so many. I mean, इतना अच्छे से वो रिकॉग्नाइज करते थे फ्लैश कार्ड्स. They used to tap that. डॉट्स पे भी टैप. 76 and 72 में कितना कम फर्क होता है. And तुरंत वो like in a second they used to tap. So it was lovely watching them. I wish I could have done with my kids, but now they are into college. So yeah, time's gone.
You can start with your grandchildren for sure.
Yeah, of course, I'm gonna do that. And thankfully, I've got such an opportunity that I work with all my kids, जो भी हमारे ब्रेनी टॉट्स में और किताबूमी में है. And I'm so blessed कि सारे mothers इतना trust करते हैं. The moment I start saying, and they jump into that and they start doing that. So yeah. So yes,
Awesome.
डॉट कब से शुरू करें and
So dot cards की जर्नी सिर्फ यंग एज की नहीं है. Even the if you go and understand flash cards, you see the flashcards for CAT exams, SET exams and all. So even the MBAs and doctors field, they also have flashcards. Why? Because the brain operates in a particular manner. But as the phase goes differently, जो adults के flashcards होते हैं, they are different. बच्चों के लिए होते हैं, वो different है. You can obviously show the ones which you're using for 2 years to a 7-year-old, 6-year-old, 5-year-old, not an issue. Now, how much would they collect as an information or learning? It actually depends on the kind of agileness and aliveness and enthusiasm that children have for learning, for understanding things. So it totally depends on that. So there's no harm in showing them. There's no side effects. And if your child gets, if the brain gets that ability, it would be magic that happens. So let me just have a small process here. So just flash few cards at a high speed. So just get present to what's happening in your brain for you to understand what happens in the child's brain. Okay. So it's reindeer, parakeet, tiger, peacock, gorilla, bison, kangaroos. My height is not allowing me right now. It's like I'm not comfortable there. Let me just show it this way. So when you see the images at a high speed, there's something that happens in the brain. The focus increases, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you for a while, but yeah, now we are fine.
Yeah, so I was showing the cards at a high speed and told that when you're showing the cards at a high speed, the focus increases, the concentration increases. There's something that happens in the brain, which is what
so I think there are few more parents वो हमेशा पूछते रहते हैं कि मैम इतना फास्ट आप करवाते हो बच्चा लर्न कर पाएगा ना. मतलब या कर पाएगा. So yes, I think आपने बोला है तो और ज्यादा वो स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाएगा पेरेंट्स के लिए.
कर पाएगा नहीं, मैजिक कर पाएगा.
Yes. I've seen magic happening, And नेहल जी का अभी एक क्वेश्चन आया है. I'm sorry, but ये last question होगा. Dot cards should be shown in a sequence, number sequence में ही करवाना है या कैसे करवाना है? She just raised a question now, and I think बहुत सारे parents भी होते हैं try to this.
Not required. So ये जो dots है, basically the brain, बच्चों की brain है where they can capture the quantity in seconds. This was even available for you and me.
Yes.
So if we see a quantity as less as like this, I would ask you how many dots are this? 4. Did you count or you just saw and said?
So I just saw and said. Probably till 7, 8 is okay. If you ask me above 10, maybe I need to count them. So yeah.
So your ability has been developed to that extent to perceive the quantity till that. Like अपने साथ देखे आप perceive कर लेते हो. For young babies, they perceive quantity in hundreds also.
Right.
So when we show them, our major agenda is for them to perceive this quantity and also to understand the connections. So if it is addition, it is like this many and this many dots are put together, and the image is the quantity and the name, number, is the symbol that represents. So if it is 3030, that represents 30 dots. So when the association is built up strong, it would go parallelly. So once the child knows that association, that's fine. You can move ahead with any sequence, not an issue.
Not an issue. Any
Any
sequence. So then initially they are supposed to introduce with 20 to 30 cards. Is this right?
No, when you're showing the cards, you just follow the sequence in 2-3 days, and then you go in any sequence.
Okay, fine. Yeah. ठीक है.
There's a
Okay.
question from Mona. She's asked to say again, if you allow me, can I take this?
Of course, it will be a great opportunity to listen to you more.
Thank you. So this is Moni Chandak, and she said, you say never say no to kids, but if they are doing wrong, then what to do? So Moni, this question, is it to Seema or is it to me? Seema ji, please go ahead.
Okay. So I will just share a small thing. I've seen parents, नहीं 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 scribble नहीं करना, यहाँ scribble नहीं करना, scribble नहीं करना, बिल्कुल नहीं. हाथ से वो पेन छीन लेते हैं, चौक छीन लेते हैं. Scribbling नहीं, scribbling बॉल पूरा देखो वॉल गंदा हो गया. And the other way out, give them the chart paper या फिर एक ब्लैक बोर्ड, एक छोटा सा एक ब्लैक बोर्ड इन्वेस्ट कर दो घर पे. Give them to chalk piece. Scribbling is to be done here. So what exactly is to be done, is to be said, is to be shown. पर क्या नहीं करना है वो तो कभी भी नहीं बताना है. Because they'll take their way outs बना ही लेंगे. So I think हमेशा क्या करना है वो बताओ. बच्चे वो करेंगे ही या फिर कुछ और भी करेंगे तो वो नहीं करेंगे. So it's like सासू जी बोलकर गए हैं कि मैं बाहर जाऊंगी और ये डब्बा मत खोलना. ओके, तुम्हारा काम फिनिश करके किचन में काम कर लेना और फिर टीवी देख लेना, सो जाना, पर ये डब्बा जो बॉक्स है ये तो बिल्कुल भी हाथ मत लगाना. मूवमेंट सासू जी गोल, व्हाट आर वी गोना डू? डब्बा तो क्या नहीं करना है वो तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं बताना है. So yeah, because स्क्रीन की जैसे उछलते हैं, that's a human tendency, it's not just this basically with kids. So yeah.
Himrata is asked, till what age dot cuts can be shown? Younger the child, better the results, but you can go till 6-7 years also, not an issue.
Okay.
Priyanka has asked, there's so many variety of flashcards. Yes, there are so many varieties of flashcards. If you confused, take the right method. Understand how you should go with Master Flashcards course. You go to our website, hungrybrain.in, and you can get it. I'm not saying that you take Hungry Brain. No, flashcards is important for your child, but the right kind of flashcards is important. So get equipped, get the
proper
knowledge,
technique
and
is important to learn. Yeah, the technique is important
to learn. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and Neha said one of the best teacher, Seema ma'am. Yeah, I could see the way people are commenting that they're in love with you.
Yes, even I love all my kiddos. I'm so thankful कि उनके कारण जो भी कुछ सीखा है सब उनके कारण सीखा है. So yes. So yes, Hemali.
Seema ji, we at Hungry Brain do not have associations with any play schools or वो सारी चीजें हमारे दिमाग में ही नहीं बैठती हैं. लेकिन आप कुछ अलग है वो तो मानती हूँ मैं भी.
आज तो मुझे लगता है लंच करना ही नहीं पड़ेगा. Okay, thank you so much, Satma. I really love you all and wholeheartedly thank you to all my parents and of course to you. A big thank you. So yes, thank you so much for being over here. But as I've said कि questions इतने हैं और आपके answers और आपका knowledge इतना ज़्यादा है कि एक बार और किसी दिन हम session रखेंगे because ये Sunday भी शायद खत्म हो जाए, So किसी और दिन हम ज़रूर एक session रखेंगे and we'll invite you. So please accept our invitation soon. So thank you parents for all being over here. Thank you so much and I love you all.
Sure. Thank you everyone for your time and energy and hope my knowledge has made a difference to you. And if it has done, just don't keep it for yourself, pass it. Every parent needs to know that we as parents our role is to build a foundation in our child's life. It's no point cribbing after years. Take the action right now and enjoy the life.
और यही बच्चे आज कल हमारा फ्यूचर है. सो बहुत ब्राइट स्पार्कलिंग और बहुत हंसते खिलखिलाते हुए बच्चे रहे सारे. सो यस,
एब्सोल्युटली.
थैंक यू सो मच हिमाली जी.
थैंक यू.
आई थिंक आज का ज्ञान हम थोड़ा दिन डाइजेस्ट करते हैं देन विल कम बैक अगेन. सो थैंक यू सो मच ऑल द पेरेंट्स. थैंक यू हिमाली जी. नमस्ते. थैंक यू.
बाय.